Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
Welcome to the Energy Hour. It is April 14th, 2020, and I am here with Mark Scholl from the World Financial Group. What's up, Mark?
Loitering today, boys.
Loitering.
With the best group of guys.
Are you playing hooky? You don't want to say that publicly now, do you, Rob? I mean, Mark. Sorry. I say Rob? Yeah. I'm getting Alzheimer's. Sorry, guys.
We're all playing hooky for the
right?
The Christmas cause.
The China 19 virus, right. Hey, Sean, what's up?
How are you?
Kind of hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm alive.
We're hammering stuff?
I'm still alive.
Still alive.
Finally.
We got Brett Dowis here from Kelly's Son.
How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
Doing good.
One of the best installers on the planet. Hint, hint. No, you can't have him. He's all mine. Just kidding. But we're here today to talk about just miscellaneous topics that are out in the news right now, everybody. We got the, I don't call it the COVID-19 virus anymore. I call it as the president calls it. And you know what? Rightfully so. It's the China virus. So if anybody says COVID this, COVID that, no, screw that. It's now the China virus. So call it what it is. Now, what city was that, or what country? China, and what was the city?
Wuhan.
Wuhan? Yeah, okay. So we don't know whose hand that did it, but it's the China
Whose
virus.
hand was in it?
Yeah, whose hand was in it, right? So here we are, episode 44. Unfortunately, we got to talk about this stuff, but it's huge. I mean, you can't go to any radio station, you can't go to any television station without getting pounded by the China virus, right? But there's a lot of good things that are coming out of this, right? I mean, seriously, you're getting some discounted insurance rates. So if you haven't been driving your car, for 30, 60
Finally
days.
Save a few dollars.
Save a few dollars, man. I'm sure they'll get you on the rebound. But currently, right now, you're going to save some money. I mean, who doesn't want to save money, right, Mark? And we talk about you all the time, talking about saving money. Yours is on steroids.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure we're going to tackle that today. But,
I might give a quick spiel, but, we're going to come out and just talk about this stuff, this nasty stuff that's out there today. It's affecting all kinds of businesses. I mean, check it out.
That's an understatement.
I mean, America has basically been put on hold.
Yeah.
Small businesses, the SBA has just literally thousands of small businesses, medium-sized, and some larger companies.
I read an article, I don't know if it's valid, but it said in the last several months, we've lost 10 years of progress as far as financially as a country.
I mean, isn't that true? I mean, think about it.
That's crazy.
I have friends in the solar business that have cut back 70 to 90%. I mean, that's their top sales reps, their installation teams. All this stuff has been trimmed off the top, man.
I'm sure some of those companies are probably happy with that, too. Finally gleaning off some of the...
What a great excuse to get rid of somebody, though, right?
It's unfortunate, but that might give them the opportunity to go
that
down
guy in the
road.
corner with the third eye. Now we can get rid of him,
Well,
Remember a shoe with a big block on it.
It is what it is.
Remember the word you and I were discussing one or two past go-arounds, the word furlough.
Oh, yeah, furlough.
And what does that really mean?
What a creative word, man.
It's just getting...
It even sounds French.
It's actually for the military.
Yeah.
It's actually naval or something like that, I mean, they got to bring what they any other creative acronym.
Whatever, fluff it up. You got
it's
fired.
The fluff word. There you go.
You got fired or you got let go.
Yeah.
If I remember correct, we did a quick little Google search on it.
Yeah.
And in short, it's an advantage to the, and I'm not anti-company, but it's an advantage move for the company to, you're used to hearing lay off. I got laid off.
Sure.
And that used to mean you got fired. Then it became
it's a pro
PC.
for both sides because it gives an advantage to the company and an advantage to, let's say, EDD to come out of pocket to say, well, we're going to qualify you for that just because you're furloughed.
So furloughed is different than being laid off.
Let's go to Wikipedia. What does Wikipedia see here? It says a furlough is a temporary leave of employees due to special needs or a company or employer, which may due to economic conditions.
Yeah, they're basically saying, enjoy your vacation while you're still getting paid, and your job will be available when you come back, provided you do. And provided the economy
well, you know how they're getting paid, right?
Status.
Some companies, now I got to hand it to some companies, are giving little, parachute packages. They may give them a couple of weeks.
If you get a parachute package, you're not getting a stimulus package.
I know, that's the bummer. You might as well just get fired and claim unemployment.
It just reminds me of that Clint Eastwood movie, Every Which Way But Loose, or whatever it was.
Right,
come on, man. We're
exactly.
A bunch of, playing around with some orangutans or what? What's going on here?
Well, it seems like it based on what has been going on. Every time when I wake up, I go, good morning, Google. And she puts on like the 12 different top stations. So while I'm taking my shower, I'm getting pounded by just
the economy.
He said, she said. Yeah, I mean, seriously, the economy, he said, she said, finger pointing. This finger pointing is so sharp, I'm getting cut on my earlobes as I'm, getting out of the shower, man.
You're gouging bacon strips off your face.
Right, I'm getting peeled in the shower. But the problem is this is real. Yeah. So in our time, there are people dying from viruses. We don't really, really seriously know what that is or what the real numbers is until we look back in a couple of years.
So here we go again.
Am I right?
I rewind to a previous conversation. People close to me that we attempt to talk intelligently, like we are here. They look at me the past couple weeks.
Right, Brett?
They look at me the past couple weeks. They count on a certain level of accountability from my whatever perceived intelligence.
You said, right?
Yeah. And I'm just not really. I'm not partaking very much, and I'm getting these Jack Russell sideways looks. Like, why aren't you jumping in? And I've chosen to back off the past couple weeks. What Chris is, I believe, alluding to. You just get inundated with, this is what I think, this is the spin I want to do, and it is just pure white noise for me, and we don't know the numbers. And Chris and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago. We won't know the numbers until they're set in stone for another 12, 18
Well,
months.
even if that's the case, you only know what you're given.
And you can't count on what you're given. There's not
in most cases.
Yeah, I'm dying for. When I was a kid, a young adult, I would open up the newspaper, as I date myself, and I would read the newspaper front to back, and it would tell you what's going on without all of the
hoopla,
the spin. And it's not overwhelming. I can handle it, but I'm just tired of hearing.
Well, the news is based off of feeling now.
Right,
it's based off of feeling.
I agree
if I can get a reaction out of you based off of how I make a certain headline look or seem, and that brings people to a website where they make more money because of advertising dollars.
I get to progress. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
I'm tuning it out, and
it's the evil of money.
The freedom of speech and not really caring what you're putting out there.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Nothing's been brought through the washing machine, cleansed, and then hung up prior to talking about it. It's just how fast can you get it out there?
Brett makes a really good point.
Well, the technology of that.
There's no. We've forgotten as a society
decorum.
I was going to use filters, but I like yours better. Yeah, we just flush it out there for our own personal gain or a company's gain. We're not held accountable.
Yeah, and whatever they're throwing is pretty sticky.
Jesus.
And it doesn't smell very pleasant.
No,
nobody's held accountable. I don't want to go and hang a hard left here, but who's the high school kid that sued CNN and won? Nick Sandman.
Yes,
Sandman.
I think it was Sandman, right?
Sandman.
Yeah,
he won.
Sandman.
About 6 weeks ago. Now, of course, you can't get the figure because the folks that got their ass handed to them aren't going to be forthcoming.
They'll go to the appellate courts or appeal it and make him pay some more money. They'll drown him out financially, and he'll just drift off into the sea.
Yep.
That's how these guys do it.
Especially when you're dealing with billion-dollar newspapers or news organizations.
Correct.
Well, this is something that's very true, and this comes from our friends at the BBC News. World faces worst decline since 1930s depression.
Everything with the British is depression in 1930s.
Have you seen their food? Have you seen
Yeah, their
their
food's
food?
depressing. Their beer's okay, though.
It's warm. That's a no-go.
Yeah, that's a no-go for sure. Got to have it cold right by the beach, baby, or get out. But here we go.
With the climate, that means they must heat it up.
So check this out. I've been seeing on YouTube where Bill Gates has been handed his butt lately. Have you seen it, Sean?
No, not personally.
So you've got a guy like Gates, whichever way you think about him. He's this is my point of view, beauty of having a mic. He's attempting to, and not for ego purposes, for business purposes, he's attempting to interject himself in his company.
He's a multi-billionaire. Does he really need business purposes?
Not really.
It's all about money.
No, regardless. I mean,
what other
thing can he play with?
There's one topic that's kind of we'll talk about at the end, but it's he's got some agendas. So I've been told that he has, and the CDC, what is that, disease control, whatever in the hell that is, Center for
Disease Control.
Yeah. And the World Health Organization. He's very, very, he was on board at one point. Didn't he fund those two?
With his checkbook?
Yeah. He's really proactive with World Health Organization, supposedly
very proactive.
Second in line to the United States when it came to donations to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine you're on par with a country and you're individual, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let me use a foundation, right?
Yeah, you're a baller.
But still, it's just like, wow.
Exactly.
And still can't fix a computer.
There's this. Yeah, there's a lot
I hate
of
my tablet. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. This lady's name is Riss Flex, RISSFLEX. If you kind of go over what she's saying, one of the things she says, are vaccines against your belief? That's one of her topics. She gets into another one that says 3 things the wealthiest people do differently. And then it talks about Gates specifically. It says, bring World Health Organization to justice. And then she says this one that I thought was pretty bold, talks about proof it's a scam. And she has this one doctor just sitting there saying that anybody that walks off the street for any injury, period, gets a COVID-19 or China virus test.
Wasn't that, and I should have dug deeper, but wasn't that the same doctor that supposedly invented those kits? And that's who she had on there? Or was that just an independent doctor?
Well, this guy right here, let me just pull this off. Hang on. This is from... Gosh, I can't see it, but you'll look at it when you go to YouTube. Just type RISS, RISSFLEX, and just look at it for yourself, man. I mean, I'm not going to say that she's right. I'm not going to say she's wrong. But at one of her latest topics that was done 3 days ago, it says proof it's a scam. And there's this doctor that says anybody that comes off the street, they swab you for this China virus, right? We should call it the bat China virus, just to really piss those guys off. But anyways, they get swabbed.
Disparaging bats.
Right, disparaging bats. And if you went in there for something else, and if you die from that other thing, they list it as a COVID virus death. Guess what they make when they do that?
Yeah, 19,000.
No.
Well, when they die,
$39,000
if they put them on a ventilator.
If they stick them on a ventilator, think about it. You're coming in with you've just been bit by a bat or something, and they swab you for COVID-19.
No, you turn into Batman. Sounds right. You're wrong.
And you die of this, right? They're going to put you on a ventilator just because you've been swabbed and tested with the COVID virus.
You've been pigeonholed.
They're going to sit you in the corner, and if you croak from that bat bite, they're going to label it as COVID-19.
They're also stating that the test that they're using is not supposed to be used for COVID.
Yeah, that's another thing. So why the hell are they using it?
The inventor for that test says, "Oh, you can't use that for COVID,"
and they're using it by the drones
because it will detect inflammation.
Yeah, inflammation. That's a joke.
When it does that, I guess automatically they have a picture of the coronavirus looking at you under the microscope, and they stamp you. Or who knows?
Yeah,
but that's how they make that.
And if you become terminal, they list you as a statistic with COVID-19 or China virus.
I've seen pictures where they have there was some 13-year-old kid that apparently died of this virus, but several places all over the internet, his name was changed.
Are you kidding me?
Multiple times into completely different names, but it was still a 13-year-old, still the same face.
Wow.
Are you talking about that kid that was on for Italy and then French?
I'm not sure, but the point is,
the same kid for like
it's the same kid.
3 or 4 different countries.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What the heck?
Name.
What?
Different name.
Yeah.
Listen, see, that skews this whole thing, man.
No,
You know.
so like you say, follow the money. Who put that news story out?
No?
I think everybody is.
Was it CNN?
No. This girl right here, Wristflex, she digs into the money. She's got some professional background of what she does in the health organization. She's got a master's degree in like spy work or investigations or whatever. But it was just interesting. She's actively putting this out there every day or every other day, and she's digging deeper. You know what? She's hitting the nail on the head, man. So believe what you want to believe. She's out there. Her name's Wristflex, and just check it out. I don't know if that's her real name. Maybe she's trying to hide her alias.
I doubt if it's a real name.
Somebody's going to get her or something, but
whatever. Maybe it means something. Who knows?
But think about it. What is that going to do for the economy?
Whose economy?
Yeah, exactly. $39,000. How many people have died?
That's not an economy. That's a business.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Soylent Green.
This is exactly why we're going to find out.
The Simpsons, right? They drink that green crap.
That's right.
Whatever that is.
This is why we're going to find out that later on, this was all business related. So, people that are getting this stuff, man, hey, I'm sorry you're getting it.
I have heard
whatever
that.
you're getting.
You want to know what the biggest business on the planet is?
What's that?
Human trafficking.
Oh, yeah. So
now imagine if you can track that human.
Yeah.
And now you have to give them, you have to have this inoculation, but it has to be done over a 6-month period. And you can't speak any language, but we have this nice microchip in you that will tell us exactly when you had it last.
You're trying to say this is a good time for the mark of the beast there, Sean?
Maybe it's a practice run.
Practice run?
Who knows? Maybe the Holocaust was a practice run, too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Ultimately, as human beings, across this globe, once again, and we're all guilty, pink plaid, white, purple, black, it doesn't matter. Something bad has happened, and the virus is real and it's bad. Bad's happened.
Yeah.
And you got more than enough people bending it and twisting it to their advantage, whether it be news, whether it be monetary. And it's and a word I hate using, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting. So let's talk economy. Is the economy going to get turned on? That's my air quotes on the 1st. Is it going to get turned on the 15th? Is the governor allowed to turn it on, or is our fearless leader allowed to turn it on? That debate's going on right now.
I've supposedly heard our fearless leader saying he should be allowed to, but he's also supposedly said. See, you have both sides, and it's like who said what? Yeah, one side saying no, the governor should do that.
Right? So regardless of
excuse me, we're kind of independent states. Yeah, we're United States, but the feds are usually the ones who will point at the states and say, well, you were supposed to set up these programs a long time ago, and finger pointing goes back and forth. So
it's up to interpretation, and I'm sure they'll get into that. But set that aside and set the startup date. Let's talk about, we were doing really, really well before this huge stumble, if you will. Now, the question for the room is, when things get turned on, and they're going to get turned on, I'm sure, slowly and carefully. But let's flash forward and say, now everybody's green lit. You can go and sit down at the restaurant. You can go to the movie theater. Around robin in the room, is this economy going to come roaring back on its own because we're so pent up and want to get out there? Or is everybody scared and going to be putting their toe in the water and rethinking things?
They can't put their toe in the water because they've had double amputee happen to them.
Totally double amputee, man.
Well,
I'm surprised the third limb hasn't gone yet, right?
But it's an opportunity for us to be back in control. If we get in devil's advocate, we get turned loose, we get greenlit. All 4 of us in the room, we get the memo, and we get to just wake up tomorrow, and our fearless leader or our genius governor, whichever guy, turns on. Is this economy going to ramp up because we want it to? We're hungry to get out and spend money and get back to our lives because we're creatures of habit. So is it going to take off running, or are we going to be in a slump until next year?
Or are we going to watch and just sit back and watch our fearless leaders and see if they go out in public and see if they go out and see themselves first out in that situation, participating. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go out there, but are they actually going to go out?
So you picture Newsom, and not being sarcastic.
They're in a luxury hotel somewhere.
He heads out to the hot dog stand across from the ball stadium and participates with the crowd without masks. Correct. And buys a couple hot dogs for the crowd. That's what you're illustrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
yes, but he is practicing social distancing.
From 25 feet away.
I meant that sarcastically.
I got it.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I got it.
It's like, I'm going to throw the ball to you, Mr. President.
Yeah. Personally, I think it's going to take, 18 months. I think it's going to take...
So you've already been indoctrinated based off of the news, whatever the news is that's saying that.
Not me personally. I'll just go based on what customers are not buying from us specifically. I can kind of rate that in QuickBooks, baby. What we did last month, or I can compare it to this quarter, right? And my business has dropped 80%.
So,
Brett, would you concur?
Yes.
I mean, you're
so let me ask you a question.
Kingpin installer, and you installed the bejesus out of stuff, right?
Yes.
So honestly, has this affected your business?
Absolutely. We went from installing anywhere from 80 to 100 jobs a month in 1, 2.
You can't get 2, right? I mean, so the customers that are being held captive in their home because of this virus, and they're going to be they're getting a gob of money from the unemployment. They're getting the stimulus.
Right, and this is exactly what I wanted to say. They're going to be sticking that crap into
the bank, dude.
So look, this is exactly what I was getting at. So what do you think the duration of time is, like 2 or 3 months when this all started for us economically?
It was back probably February.
Okay, so the last couple of months.
At least.
Okay, so you don't think this country has the ability to turn things around fairly quickly within the next several months?
I'm over here radio style shaking my head. I'm trying. I think just real fast, not to interrupt.
You got to raise your hand, Mark.
So sorry.
Put your hand down.
So I'm hearing in what I brought up, I'm hearing Chris say slow start, and if I'm hearing, I know there's trouble right now, but when things get turned on, are you voting we're going to be a slow start, or we're going to get after it?
I'm definitely, and I'm an optimist. Everybody knows me. I always look for the brightest sun until it gets really dark, and I look down and go, oh, shit. It is what it is, right? I think it's going to be a slow start because, if you got, stock in Pornhub, you're doing good. But this is not Pornhub. This is the economy we're talking about, right? This is serious. These are people, my families and their families and my friends' families are sitting at home glued to this television. They can't get enough stuff on the radio. They can't. I go into my house, and if it's not, China virus, it's Fortnite. So, I have I go fly a kite, man, to get my serenity back because I can't listen to this stuff. And based on what I'm listening to and everybody, and I'm not saying anything about it, I think we're screwed for about a year.
Slow start. Brett, what's
slow start?
I think it's a slow start.
Slow start?
Yeah.
Sean?
I think it's after defining when that start occurs, it's going to be relatively fast.
What do you think your projections are for this based on the news you've heard currently?
Okay, so if, for example, tomorrow there was a huge announcement and unilaterally it was accepted, at least in the United States for the most part, to say, all right, let's put the step forward, I think from that point forward, within 4 to 6 months.
Is the measuring stick the stock market? Let's settle that.
Are we going to do like one of those football
or is it
things?
People off of unemployment?
No. It's people just, first of all, spending the money, whether they're on the unemployment or not.
Good
then
point.
you have people who already are, now they have a little bit of breathing room. Now they can sit back and really decide. The partying is already going on.
Oh,
when
yeah.
that's done and burned out, believe me, they're going to go, it's serious now. What do we do? And that's when the ramping up is going to occur. That's when people are going to go, you know what? I have my home that I can push out because I have equity in it. And I better do it now before there is no equity in it. Who knows? Just that thought process. People have a tendency to either save on purpose or be forced to save by proxy.
Yeah, I think people are going to catch up. They're going to finally catch up and go, whew, there's a little relief off my shoulders. Oh, that extra money we have, we need to put it over there in the corner, buried in a coffee can.
I heard this guy, I should have got his name too. He has a really popular YouTube channel. He's in the real estate industry, blah, blah, blah. Kind of a young guy. He says he owns maybe 7 or 8 properties worth about $6 million. So he counts on his rents, obviously. But
how's that working out for him?
Well, he says this. He says what it's working out for him is like this. Number one, the newspaper articles that are out there saying, 1/3. He says, yeah, well, what people don't realize is that's based off of, if you're basing it off of numbers now, the data from that doesn't come back until after the 5th.
Huh.
And the 5th was a Sunday.
Yeah.
So they're doing all the data prior to that and telling you, 1/3. He says, hold on. It's 1/3 of those people who are late after the 5th. He says the numbers are so skewed. He says most people anyways, they said they ran an average across the United States of how many people were late on their rent. On average, 20% or more. Period.
I totally believe it.
Before this. Okay, so they come out in the newspaper with a third.
So are people going to be using this as a crutch?
Yeah, so let's, and I'm not taking away from the room, but let's not travel down the road of what we read and hear as BS. But let's keep to the vote.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the vote.
Yeah.
So
I'm a slow start guy.
Slow start. Brett, slow start.
Slow start.
And Sean, for very good reasons, slow start. What would the gauge be? Let me first of all throw my hat in the ring. I think Christmas is just going to be banging this year.
For Amazon.
Remember, my children, listen, not to be dark here, unless a terrorist action happens sometime over the summertime, the summertime is going to be rolling. Yeah.
I think we're going to be...
Well, let you know in
July.
July.
Do you think there's a push? Why do you think there's always a push or talk about May 31st, May 1st, whatever? Why do you think that's not just said just to be said?
So
there's reasoning behind why
people
things
are being
said.
Pre-programmed now that everything's going to be in celebration June 1st?
You know what? We're not promised tomorrow anyways. Yeah. But yeah, if you can plan for it, why not?
Hey, where is that crystal ball, Brad? I can't find that. Mine's just like...
I vote Christmas, the holidays is going to be banging. And here's the biggest reason why.
I think we should start like a pool or something for like $100.
You should also watch sports, man. If sports aren't starting up, then that's going to...
No. Yes, right. You got basketball that's off all season. Baseball... Probably not going to start. It's already toast. Olympics got pushed the next 4 years, or the Summer Olympics.
Might be September.
Yeah. So doesn't that kind of ring a bell to this whole thing? If these major industries are like, and these are big moneymakers, man.
What if the NFL doesn't start on time?
I mean,
look doesn't start at all.
Ford Company is saying, buy a car from us. We'll make your car payments for the first 6 months.
I want to buy 90 days, 6 months.
I want to buy a Ford, man,
for 5 months and turn it in.
Yeah. I'll take advantage of that stuff, right? Get a big ass truck. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So
I think we're in a good way. In this instance, I'm illustrating it's a good way, and a lot of times it's a bad way. But we as a society, I'm talking about the U.S., we're creatures of habit, and that's a fancy word for saying lazy. And as soon as we get a green light, it's not going to be because we're fired up and because we're all boxed up and tied down. A certain percentage of that will be, but we want to get back to being regular, normal every day.
Dude, I wanted this to happen in January. So,
look,
I mean,
okay, so
those are my reasons.
Yeah,
I agree with Brett looking at those industries too.
Yeah,
but you also have to look at the drug industry.
Oh, that must be hopping right now.
The biggest thing right now, if you read about it, is just the delivery of it. The supply is already there. The money is still being paid. A lot of that money, even though it gets sent out of country, it still gets spent in country. That contributes to cash flow that everybody is still using.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. And you can go to any one of these.
And look at precious metals. I keep saying that all the time.
Gold, for example?
Gold.
Where's it up? About $1,600?
It was over $1,700, almost
$1,700? Damn, I should get in the gold business. Yeah. Some of my wife's jewelry. Make a few bucks. But anyways, the reality is it is tough, man. And right now, today, there are a lot of things our president is pointing out. It's saying, hey, man, these things are real. He's crossed off COVID-19, and he says he calls it what it is, the China virus. And, I support that because that stuff came from the other side of the world. And, when they had one in Europe, when they had one in Italy, they called it exactly what it is. So why should we cover up where this flipping thing came from? It came from China. Somebody swallowed a bat, got infected, and got this coronavirus. And you know what? They're starting to let those wet shops back open, man.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
That's crazy. Why would you do that? That is a fact. So they're starting to say, okay, we're fine over here. Nobody has any bad diseases, so let's open back up, Bill.
I don't know. Definitely the food industry is really foreign.
I mean, they'll eat anything that doesn't move on a stick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, right? And another thing, one of the most renowned bat scientists, believe it or not, it's a bat scientist. She speaks out, and she cannot be found in China right now.
I'm shocked.
Right? I know where she's at. She's in the wet market, ready to be sold.
No, they call her, Chris, you'll like this, they call her Batwoman.
Batwoman, nice.
Yeah.
Batwoman is nowhere to be found right now in China. She's probably in this isolation chamber being stripped of her flesh. It's just sad, man.
By the bats.
And
they're gumless, or they're toothless bats.
They're gumming her to death. Right. And how does that happen, man?
It happens every day over there.
Over here, they call it the Sinaloa cartel. But, they get usually banging people out in Arizona with those cookers. Anyways, that's another episode. But
Chris is so fascinating.
I know. So anyways, think about it, man. The number one scientist, Batwoman, is missing in China.
Well,
she spoke out against the Chinese government.
She spoke out
against the government.
She spoke out, but she's not missing.
Where is she at now? She's off the air.
Of course, she's in China.
Yeah,
but it's just that they're like, look, you've spoken enough. We're going to give you that much respect.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
There's too much focus on you. You might disappear, right?
That's what Hitler said, right? Jesus. What is it, 10 million later? Anyways, that's another it's another episode. But it's just sad to see that going on, man. And people are just disappearing because of this stupid thing. We're going to find out in a year from now what really caused it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was to disrupt the American economy. Remember, if you look on Vudu or Netflix or some of those other things, there's this video that I saw, and they specifically said biological threat to disrupt Americans' economy. It was called Death by China. You just watch it. All I'm saying is pull it up on YouTube. Watch Death by China.
Is it just as valid as watching The Simpsons? The same
Simpsons
thing?
Are never wrong.
The Simpsons are never
wrong. See, that would be my quote unquote point. You see, that would be my point, right?
Oh my goodness! I'm just saying, man.
He came down the escalator.
He did.
Full cartoon.
I'm just saying, man. We all thought that President Kennedy, was shot from the grassy knoll, or that guy up in the little.
Get off into the weeds.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. We're going to find out later. This is my point. You're going to find out a year from now, or maybe 10 years from now.
Or we'll never find out.
I think we're going to find out. We're not that stupid.
No, they just let people write, fiction novels and, just say whatever. And before you know it, you might have some poor 16-year-old reading it, and he's just committed it to memory, and now he's ingrained with it, and he's starting to do crazy things. Who knows?
Yeah, I just think that, America is a target for a lot of things.
Yeah.
People come here, we're the top dog, and bigger countries out there are trying to take the little guy out. Land of the free, home of the brave.
We're a clawless eagle right now.
Come on down, right. And that's what it seriously is. We're the clawless eagle, and we need to get those talons back, man.
Yep.
And just say, look, we're going to start building in America again. We're going to start making product in America again. We're going to start doing American things.
I've heard a lot of that going on, too, so maybe that will change.
That's waiting for Chris to take a break, and I jump in exactly where I was headed next. No, that wasn't disparaging.
No,
it's your world. We live in it. But, yeah, the next round-robin vote was going to be this. when the dust settles and we all get a chance to go out to the furniture store, to the picture frame place, to wherever, are we going to start heading more domestic-minded as a society? I think dramatically yes.
You might see the recycling business go up when they take all that crap made from China and just send it to the recycling bin.
Like at Best Buy or something?
And go, look, we are going to buy American.
So let's vote on that for fun. Chris, are we going to head towards more domestic purchases? You know, the Rust Belt folks, you know, us out here in SoCal.
Possibly.
I am.
You know, buy a Chevy, man. Are they still in America? You know, whoever's in America, you should seriously consider on supporting the people that put that economy together for us.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, invest within. I'm pro that, Mark. So,
I think
Sean?
that's what's going to happen.
I am.
Brett?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to look at my tags at Walmart when I buy my...
As I drive my Mercedes-Benz.
No. I mean, seriously, what do they say? There's a couple of countries that were pushing the Chinese people out for whatever reasons. Right? I mean, think about it. I have many, many friends that are Chinese, and it is what it is. And, you know, I get the same response from them. They don't really like what's going on.
Right. I wonder how much...
It's screwing things up for them.
I wonder how much pricing would really go down then.
Yeah, well, look at this. When I was a kid, you can buy a car for $2,500. Literally.
You can't even buy a vintage Hot Wheel for that.
Right, on eBay, right? But now you're going to spend the minimum of $25,000-$30,000 for a car that came from a foreign country. Do you really want to do that?
That's designed to break in half as soon as you.
Well, they gave it the 100,000-mile warranty, and then you're going to have to turn in there for spare parts.
Isn't that funny? They give you a 100,000-mile warranty and go, "What's the car made of? It's completely made of plastic."
Yeah, exactly. Right. God forbid you get in a car accident. It's an instant.
Yeah.
Back then, my Gran Torino, they would have took that bumper, unbent it, and said, "Hey, here you go."
I wonder how many, if they give a 100,000-mile warranty, why can't they just give a $100,000 policy along with it too, in case you do go south?
Hey, who knows, man? But that's where we got Mark for. You get in an accident, Mark will take care of that claim. But I'm seriously, I'm buying American. I'm going to do what I can to support American businesses and local businesses. And you know what? The stuff that we're gobbling up on Amazon, stop it.
Does that mean you're still going to stick with Quill?
No, I'm going to change because of you. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to go direct. Maybe Costco. Is Costco okay?
I think they're part of the Walmart empire.
Are they really?
Sam's Club.
No, Sam's Club is opposite of Costco. They're their own separate entity.
And they hire from
But I'll bet
afar.
you it's under the umbrella of the Walton family.
Well, I'm going to seriously consider everything that I do, including what we do here at Quality Home Improvement as a business. I don't want to buy junk from somewhere else. I can buy from a local distributor.
Yeah, we can get our own junk over here.
Exactly. You may pay a little bit more for it, but at the end of the day, I don't want to support...
At least there's an address you can go to and knock on the door.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't want to have somebody put their hand in the back of my pocket, steal my money, and not do anything about it. Did you know that there's one thing in the country of China that they don't support? So if it happens, there's nothing you can do about it. You know what that is?
No, what is that?
It's a 5-letter word. Fraud. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
You can go to Alibaba or madeinchina.com, or you can buy a whole... I did this one time with $50 US. I sent it over to this girl for something stupid. She go, "We're so sorry, you cannot have." You dumbass, to me. I just wanted to fly to China and rip her throat out. But you know what? I couldn't do anything about it. Their country does not support fraud. So if you get hosed in China,
you're on your own.
What hosed?
No, it sounds like they do support fraud.
No, well, they say they don't want. You can't go there and get somebody for fraud.
Yeah, it's their citizens.
It's just exactly. So
and it's
screwed.
actually the communist state when you do that.
So what do? You buy American as long as you can reach out to them and have some attorney in Texas grab somebody in Georgia. That's fine. Right? It is what it is.
Maybe.
But do not. Seriously. I'm just going to think serious about it. It is what it is. And Brett and I have a big decision. It's kind of hard in the solar business. There's not too many American-made things anymore, right?
Very few.
Very few.
Very few.
Maybe Solaria.
Yeah.
Look. Let's be honest. If it's a company that at least has representation or an office in the United States that's not a private mailbox somewhere,
you can knock on their door.
Exactly.
A P.O. box, maybe, right?
Well, I mean, no, not a P.O. box.
Yeah, I'm saying the opposite of a P.O. box, right?
Like a location like this.
Yeah.
At least I don't care if it's empty or whatever. We moved or whatever. At least give me a door to knock on. Don't give me some place over in China. You look at Google Earth, it's a sheep field somewhere. I don't want to do that.
Oh my God!
Disparaging the sheep.
Who knows, man? Right? When sheep are sheep and men are scared to death. Anyways, but that being said, I mean, Buy American, it's a good thought.
Yeah,
it's a good thought. Put your money in American banks. Forget all this other junk that's out there.
I don't know about the American banks.
How about a credit union? Okay, how about this? Put it in a coffee can and bury it in your backyard.
Look, if you go in your local bank and you look on the floor and you go, I could eat off that.
You mean the marble
they
that you see?
Too much money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a joke.
Well, you know how they make all that money, right? From those $35 late fees.
Sure, yeah.
Chris's pet peeve.
Yeah, that is. I hate these guys for that.
Yeah.
I just did something recently. I paid a bill for Spectrum, right? And this was at home, and I was $8.15 short.
Yeah, but they gave you the credit to run it.
Because they're going to charge you $35
They charge
for it?
Wells Fargo. I hate you. Just charge me $35 for that. That's just ridiculous. Man.
It didn't even come with a video attachment with anything
or some Vaseline, whatever. Could have made it feel
Amazon.
better.
This
right?
is from the president.
But anyways, how many other people are suffering with those fees right now? Thousands. Isn't that how they get the marble on the floor? Probably.
Well,
that's probably one of their major.
Wasn't there something in the past where they made a bunch of fake accounts and attached all these NSF charges to them and everything?
That exactly was Wells Fargo, and that was called Dirty Money on a series called Netflix.
No, it was called
Dirty Money.
Good lawyering, right? And then we're just going to come out with a fee because
we
made 90% more than that.
Yeah, they got fined 10%.
Yeah, and that was it. They made like $10 billion.
I bet you some guy says they're sitting on the golf course. You were exactly right, dude. You're exactly right.
Yeah, that was called Dirty Money in Netflix. And you know what? There's nothing you can do about it. What about Trump's, son-in-law? This guy's like the slumlord in New York. You got to see that. It's part of Dirty Money. You're going to really be an eye-opener. But most importantly, watch Death by China. Trust me, it's going to really kind of take you to the next level.
I don't even know if I have to go down that road to see a video to convince me otherwise right now.
You already convinced? Yeah. It is what it is, man. Now the coronavirus junk or China virus.
Whatever.
It's just crazy. So at the end of the day, man, make smart decisions. Make better decisions. Cut out the middleman. And try to do it yourself locally here.
Yeah, make a decision that doesn't require you to look over at somebody with an arched eyebrow.
Yeah. Yeah, they're known for eating their own kind or something like that. It is what it is. So $39,000 ventilator charges, bogus, man. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully that doesn't jack up our health system. And, we're going to pay for this one way or another. It is, right? At the end of the day, when all the dust is settled, they're going to go, hey, look at all these billions of dollars.
Then somebody will be a millionaire off of storage because that will have to be stored somewhere.
Yeah. And then they'll have another assembly bill later in the future that says...
And what about the machine that has
the American people will pay for it. What's that?
Maintenance on a $30,000 machine, who knows?
Yeah, somebody's going to make money.
Yeah.
It's not going to be you, and it's not going to be us.
Exactly.
Sorry. So let's just call it how it is. It's a China virus from now on. It's not the coronavirus. It is what it is. Let's just put that into place. And if you have vehicle insurance currently for your cars, seriously, go out, call your insurance company, and say, can I get a rebate for the last 2 months? Because a lot of people have been inside, so you should not have to be paying for that car insurance. Make sense?
It makes absolute sense. I mean, I was on the freeway today, and it was just... Wow, talk about the Autobahn or something,
Right? I mean, seriously.
People just going straight. And I've been in the van with Brett before, That's crazy.
Yeah. For sure. And what's this other thing I was going to talk about really fast? Oh, yeah. A lot of companies, man, going out of business. So support your local businesses. Yeah. Seriously. Forget Amazon, dude. Forget all that stuff. Anything that is not made in America, I mean, it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, just try to keep the money in country.
Keep the money in country and don't worry about the other guys, right?
I think that's the direction we're headed.
Right, Mark?
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
Just like the IUL stuff.
Oh, God.
You know, put that back into you. Yeah. Don't put it anywhere else. You know, definitely put your money to make it work for you. Any last words, Brett? You're kind of silent today, man.
Yeah, well,
it's your first one,
time, yeah.
first podcast.
Yes, sir.
Nice, you did pretty well, though.
That's rookie courtesy.
Is
He'll be a different man next go round.
Yeah, for sure. So special thanks to you, Brett, for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me on.
Callie's son, one of the best installers in Southern California. I can attest to that, and he installs everything that we do. And then some. Special thanks to Sean. He's kind of like our crime scene guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's some dirt somewhere, and he's already digging up on you. And I'm sure him and I will be looking at these wrist flex girl and some other stuff. So if we have to make some retractions, we will. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It's a tough society out there, man. So if we find any dirt, I sick Sean on him. He just goes, riff, riff, and it's over.
They have their own dirt. It's just already brought to the surface.
You just know where to lurk, baby. It is. What is that, the dark web or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the dark web.
Special thank to Mark at World Financial Group. Keep doing a great job. Didn't Rob said he needs to speak to you about maybe getting him in the hopper, dude?
Yeah,
good stuff. You know why? Because his dad's going to be selling his house soon, and that's a great shelter. Wouldn't you agree?
There's a million things you can do that Middle America's not aware of.
Not paying attention yet.
Yeah, they haven't been taught. That's the deal.
I just wish we had a huge speaker in the top of this building. We just kind of blurt it out that people will listen as they drive by. But anyways, and you, the listener, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We talk just off the cuff, and we want to get dirty and down and do all the crazy stuff that we do on every show. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. All right, guys. Thanks, Mark. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
Sean.
Thank you, sir.
Brett.
Chris,
thanks, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out.
Yep.
Have a good day.
The Energy Hour was brought to you by...
Latest electric bill? Is it less than last month or last year? Probably not. But if you had a solar system from QHI, it would be. Your electric meter could be running backwards. Right now, get a QHI system installed for no money down, no out-of-pocket expenses. Get an immediate savings on your electric bill. Call 909-609-5437. Solar is all they do. Call QHI 909-609-5437.
Capture the joyful magic of the holiday season with Virtual Santa. Virtual Santa is a high-definition projection effect that walks, waves, laughs, eats cookies, and puts presents under the tree. From outside, it's so real, you swear Santa's in your house. Virtual Santa, originally seen on ABC's The Great Christmas Light Fight. You can choose from traditional Virtual Santa or new African American Santa. Holiday effects include Virtual Santa, Mrs. Claus, Santa's Workshop with Christmas elves, and so much more. Buy one effect or a bundle. Available in HD DVD, digital download, or USB flash drive. Also available in LED projection bundles. For a winning Christmas display that will delight your neighbors young and old, visit us at virtualsanta.com and become known as the house where Santa lives. Virtual Santa, where holiday spirit begins.
Beauty, efficiency, and power. The only product we know in the solar industry is Solaria. Maximum power. For nearly 25 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Maximum power. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Maximum power. What really defines home solar? How about Solaria? Quality you can trust for your home or business. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Where do you get this panel for your home or business? Go to QHIinc.com. That's QHIINC.com/Solaria. SOLARIA.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to QHIinc.com/TEO. That's QHIINC.com/TEO.